Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, and more. Because I want as much splatter zone possible to talk about hope and happiness and what's right with people. So I bring you guests and topics to that end. And today is no exception. In fact, today is a wonderful day because you're about to meet, if you haven't already enjoyed her 3 last visits to my studio, someone who we figured out have so much in common that we are now unofficially twin sisters. But let me read a little bit about her to you in case this is your first time meeting her. She's internationally acclaimed pianist, composer, and humanitarian. Keiko Matsui's transcendent and haunting melodies have long sought to build bridges, allowing the pianist to work alongside icons like Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder, and Bob James. She says that she would like her music to be a conduit for peace, kindness, love, and light, and she does just that. I don't know anyone who can touch the keyboard in a way that makes one note have 88 different sounds. A master storyteller, Matsui has crafted, is it 33 albums now? Am I correct? Is it 33?
I think I think so. Around here.
I meant to ask you beforehand, but I know it's a lot. But I believe it's 33, and she's topped the Billboard charts too many times to count. Keiko Matsui took her first piano lesson at age 5, and she made U.S. recording debut in 1987 and has performed on all of the greatest jazz stages all over the world and on the sea. Her latest album, Echo, further cements Keiko Matsui's place as one of the most dynamic and important voices in instrumental music. She concludes, "My sole desire is to write songs that create a feeling of oneness. This music is a reflection of my thoughts and life, and right now I am drawing my road towards happiness and truly learning about what it means to be happy," which further binds our sisterhood because she is a partner in my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. Please welcome to my studio, Keiko Matsui. Welcome back, Keiko.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you.
Yeah, you look exactly the same.
Sure.
And you just flew in from Tokyo, and that is where your home is.
Yes.
And how were you there is this your first time out since COVID?
No, but last year, because of that, there is a require for 2 weeks of quarantine, so I couldn't go back. So that was good visit for mom.
Yeah. So your mom is in Japan, and how's she doing?
She's doing fine. She doesn't go out much, but my brother is visiting her every week, so she's insecure.
That's great. That's another thing we have in common. So that's now number 34.
Oh, yeah?
Because my mom is in Toronto and my brother lives close and goes to visit her.
Oh, nice.
I was supposed to go to mine for Chinese New Year next week. But because of COVID and
you can go.
Not going. Yeah. So, but let's talk about COVID because we'll get it out of the way.
Yes.
And it has hit musicians particularly hard.
Right.
So, yeah. So, how have you coped with all of that?
Well, I didn't expect this pandemic kept going this long, but really for musician, especially touring musician, some musician is staying home and writing for the video and a movie. So my best friend, she lives in New York, and she said her life didn't change at all, and she's getting more work because of this pandemic. But anyway, touring musician and also the production team, like a lighting director and sound engineer, all these people, we were suffering so hard. But somehow we found a way to stream music through internet, and also, for me, it was great support from the fans' comment on social media. So kind of we found a way to communicate, but live concert is the roots of my energy, and I think music connect us in the same space is a so special thing. So I miss that deeply.
Yeah. You did some concerts from your living room.
Yes.
Or your loving room, as I call mine. And those were beautiful. And it was great to see, as you said, the comments. I have new Japanese friends because of you.
Oh, really?
Because they saw me typing in the chat. So they sent me friend requests.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was very nice. It was very nice. So yeah, it has been a tough time for musicians because you would go. Your normal schedule was pretty crazy, if I remember.
Crazy. I realized that how crazy I was because over 15 months we couldn't do any tour, and then I realized that I never spent spend the time at my place here. Not more than 7 days. So this time I slept with the same pillow every day. And I think it was a different way. If I see it was good rest I could take because I never slept enough. So I had a long sleep, and I really take care of my health and try to make my immune system really good and strong. So it was good time too.
That's great. That's great. Because you were on the road, like in contrast, before COVID, you were on the road probably how many times, like how many performances about?
I'm not sure, but almost like 10 months out of a year, I was traveling.
Yeah.
To inside of US and Eastern Europe and Japan, sometimes South Africa, sometimes Asia. So yeah,
it was a lot. I remember you texted me from Russia. I got texts from Japan, from Africa, from Europe. So yeah, that is pretty drastic change.
Right. And now I cannot travel freely, but it was amazing. Like I didn't have any feeling of worry to go to different country, and sometimes traveling to Russia via different country or from Holland or so transit was no problem.
So now, and you're all going to have to wait till the end of the show, but I'm going to tell you right now that I have a very special Asian Oprah giveaway. I was so delighted because, y'all remember Cerritos Performing Arts Center was a sponsor of mine, and they would give me tickets to give away for a number of different shows. But because of COVID and all that's happened, it wasn't going to happen. And then I am honored because anytime Keiko's in town, she will let me have a special entrance to her concerts. And I mentioned that it would be great, if it was possible. And not only did I get 1 pair of tickets, I have 8 pair of tickets. I think I have 10 pair of tickets, but I get some. But I'm giving away 8 pairs of Asian Oprah giveaway tickets. So you're going to have to listen to the end of the show when I tell you how to get that. All right. We actually had 1 winner already. I had one, I think a week before, when I played one of your earlier interviews with me, and I gave away 1 pair of tickets to Robert, who won and is very excited. So we're going to do that at the end of the show. And we're going to take a quick little break right now. But when we come back, Keiko's going to talk to us about her music, her latest album, and just some highlights of what it's like to have been who she is for the past, I'm not going to say how many years, because we're both ageless. Because if anybody knows how old you are, they're going to know how old I am. And I don't talk about that. So
this is US.
Yeah. So that's when we come back. Keep it here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get a notification every 8 a.m. weekday morning for a new show about to drop with Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated morning host, here to balance out all the bad news with what's right with people, what's right with the world, and what's right with music. And my very special guest today is none other than the world-renowned Keiko Matsui, who I understand is the #1 most recognized name in Japan. And I have actually put that to the test. Whenever I meet someone from Japan, I say, "Do you know Keiko Matsui?" And they all go, "Yes, I love Keiko Matsui." And I say, "She's my twin sister." And people will look at me and go, But the reason why I do call her my twin sister is we met, I don't even remember, 8 years ago, maybe, something like that, on the red carpet at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, where I jokingly say they put the festival on because it's always on my birthday weekend. So, and I also speak there at the Health Pavilion. So I had my microphone, I went backstage, and it was the very first time I'd ever met Keiko. And I had just heard her do her set. And I was completely amazed. And I forgot to tell you during break, go check out our music on YouTube, because honestly, I don't know anybody who takes music and takes a keyboard and between the way you play it, the feeling tone behind it, the pressure you put on it, it's magic. And I'm not just saying that because you're my sister, because I thought that. And then, so I went backstage and I was so excited to meet her. And it was like love at first sight. I remember that moment. We had a connection. It felt really, I don't know if it was for you, but it was for me. And I just felt like I'd known her a long time. And so I said, I would love you to come on my show. And
Right.
she said, yes. And then she came on my show, and that show was incredible because she said, I said, how many daughters, or do you have children? And you said, yes. And I said, girls or boys? And you said, I'm going to make you do it again. Girls. How many?
2.
I said, oh, I have 2 daughters too. And how old are they? They were same age, 2 years apart,
Mm.
right?
Oh no, mine is actually 8.
8 years apart? I thought they were
Yeah.
2 years apart. Oh, we're going to have to minus 1. I thought they were 2 years apart. I don't know why. But anyways,
Yeah.
down the line, and there were so many things in common. So that's why this is her 4th time here. So welcome back to the studio, Keiko.
Thank you. Happy to be.
Yeah. And she also did a beautiful, how many people get musicians to play them a song for their 8-year anniversary? That was so special.
Oh.
So when you were a kid,
Mhm.
could you imagine your life as it is now?
No, not at all. Because I never thought about becoming professional musician. But in Japan, kind of common that around 5 years old, your mother takes to the lesson, piano or math. That's very common in that era. But my mother is a traditional Japanese dance teacher. So she wanted me to take that lesson, but I didn't show any interest. So she took me to private piano lesson. That was the beginning.
And did you like it? Do you remember your first lesson?
Yes, I liked it, and I was a good girl. So she didn't necessary to say the practice because I loved it. Yeah, and kind of piano became my partner.
When did you start composing?
Not intentionally, but somehow early elementary school era, and when I had a special school trip to go beautiful places, or some imagination came around the Christmas time. So I wrote small, tiny melodies, and sometimes lyrics to it. And then since then, I started writing small songs, like writing diary type of thing.
Oh, so music was like your diary, capturing how you were feeling. That's beautiful. So have you recorded any of those early melodies?
Actually, no, I wrote it down, but I don't have it. But maybe around around 9 years old, I moved to Hiroshima from Tokyo because of my father's business. And in elementary school, there is some school festival, and I produced a musical for my class.
Wow.
And I composed the original theme song, and to make them to sing. And also I arranged some Mozart composition to this musical. So,
how old were you?
About 9 or 10.
Were the teachers blown away?
I didn't think about it, but but my school friends still remember how I was doing that.
Wow, that's so cool.
I was enjoying.
Did you consciously make a decision that you were not going to write lyrics anymore and just focus on music and melody?
I don't like writing long sentences, and sometimes I correct them like melody too. So I correct some phrases, but I never thought about becoming a lyricist or anything.
Yeah, it could be. It's an interesting distinction in music, right? I never thought about it until preparing and knowing you, how most music, if you think music, you think singers, performers, lyrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the power of instrumental music
Mm-hmm.
to be so complete in and of itself, it's kind of, it makes you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we think about the words and the lyrics and
Right.
you know, all the
Free
verses.
to imagine
Right,
any situation, and
right.
in your position or in your emotion, with your emotion, the sound might be different. But I
Yeah.
think that's freedom of instrumental music.
The power of it's kind of like the difference between a book
Mm.
and a movie in my
Mm.
mind,
Mm-mm.
because a book you allow your imagination to take wherever it is, whereas a movie is one person's interpretation
Mhm.
of the words.
Right.
So it takes a very creative person not just to create it, but to enjoy. So I'm becoming an instrumental purist here.
Wow.
but it's I never thought about it like that, because
Mm.
your music does transport people to another place, and for that, that's such a talent, and kudos to you, because emotional music without words, that's not easy,
Mm. Yeah.
right?
Thank you. Yes, because the voice is such a powerful tool, and everyone has a voice, and I admire and I respect that. And so, and the current music, there are so much vocal music or rap or many words with the music.
Yes.
So when I made a last album, Echo, I thought about I'm gonna include a vocal song, because I used to have one or two in older eras albums. So I wanted to try that, but then I realized that well, I want to try how instrumental music can express emotions, and because there are so much wonderful vocal songs, and everybody using chorus and choirs, and so okay, I want to go just the traditional way. So I tried without any vocal, except me and my manager sang like humming on one song. But just I wanted to try that how much instrumental music can speak.
Yes,
I
provoke. That's a great word. It
Yeah,
definitely provokes. I actually use your music when I'm creating. So if I'm
really?
writing, yes, or creating, I put your music on because it transports me to another vibration or another level of creativity.
Happy
There
to
you
hear.
go. Yeah. And we have more to explore with Keiko Matsui, but we have to take a quick break for the news and the weather. So keep it here for more. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show with my twin sister, Keiko Matsui, when we come back on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, and more. And of course, my YouTube channel. This is the number one talk news station in the Inland Empire. And thanks to you, this is the number one 8 a.m. talk news show in the IE. And I'm so grateful that you continue to support me by tuning in. And if you would like to have a show spot on my show, please do go to drmarissa.life and let me know, and we can chat about that. And as I promised, the Asian Oprah giveaway will be at the end of this segment, at the end of the show. So keep it tuned here, because you're going to find out how to win a pair of very valuable tickets to a performance by Keiko Matsui, who is my guest today. Welcome back, Keiko. And tell me about this wonderful concert that you're going to be heading up.
Yes. So it will be very special and a kickoff concert in this year. And for this special show at the Cerritos Performing Arts Center on February 25th, I'm inviting special guest from New York, who is the trumpeter, Randy Brecker, legendary, and also Brandon Fields on saxophone, and my family on the road on drums, Jimmy Brownlee from Cuba, and on bass, Rico Beled from Holland, and the guitarist from Brazil, JP. So we will be there, and we are going to put this very special show for you. So I hope you can come.
Absolutely. I will be there with bells on, and I can't wait to see my family, JP and the guys who I love seeing all over when you tour. And Keiko also does concerts. I met her one year on a jazz cruise. Those are a lot of fun too. Yeah, that was an interesting year when I was dating the cruise owner. Remember that? We're not going there. Anyways, back to the concert. What else are you doing besides performing now that COVID is sort of
right? So I was composing for next album. And I have lots of candidate songs, and now I'm really starting to prepare for the recording before going to the studio. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that is so great. When you are in studio, do you ever not feel like you're inspired, or do you ever feel like you don't want to record? Because there's times when I'm supposed to do something like a show or write something, and I just don't feel like it. Do you ever go through that?
Well, when I go to studio and when I'm ready, arrangement and everything, and book the musician, I'm really into it. So I never thought about it. But when I do, like my private composing time in the studio, sometimes I was doing in Tokyo too. I commute to the beautiful studio with a beautiful piano. But sometimes I feel like, and because I was sitting there, and without composing a new song, I was playing something else or something I was doing differently. So sometimes that happens. But when I really go to studio in LA and to start recording, I'm in the mode, and I have a coffee and manuka honey for energy, and then just I'm really charged for that.
So you have honey?
Yes. Since I found when I had a bad cold, throat pain or something, and I found honey from New Zealand, manuka honey, and really works.
Really? How do you spell it?
Manuka, MANUKA.
And
NUKA or something.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Yes, and
Ooh.
for your you can just taste 1 spoon with coffee, and for energy, or you can heal actually for cold too. So instead of taking medicine, this works really good.
That's good to know. I got a new tip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow because that my voice is always
Mhm.
under pressure
Oh, yeah,
because
right.
I have nothing to say because I'm so shy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sarcasm is another service I offer.
Uh,
So, how do you match your music to the titles? So, when you have, do you ever have a title and you go, no, that's it? Do you try? Does it download? How does that happen?
Yes, this is very interesting progress. But besides the music note, I'm writing new songs. I have another notebook, and this is for the collecting images and titles. So I have lots of candidates for the title too, and sometimes the music, just melody, brings me with the words too. So all these things are kind of, there are two notes, and but for the finalize the title and the album title is after the recording.
So you sort of feel what
Yeah.
it
Uh-huh.
was. Yeah. So
So
how did Echo come about? Why
it-
Echo?
yes, Echo was like after the recording, I felt that all the great studio musician who has that really great skills, but at the same time, I felt that they put lots of heart and soul in every note, and it's enhancing in the album. That's why I chose the title Echo.
So it's
Yeah,
not just once; it's more than once.
right,
It
right.
has more depth.
And
Interesting.
I had lots of another title too, but it is the joy, my favorite time, because no pressure for recording or no pressure for writing. After putting everything down, and while mixing engineer is working, I'm just watching the title and which one go to which one, and that that is my favorite progress.
I can tell you actually have fun doing that.
Yes.
So, would you call yourself a perfectionist? And I ask that as in perfectionists are usually people who are very hard on themselves.
Mm-mm.
Everything has to be very perfect.
Mm.
If you get 99 compliments and one person says, I don't like your sound, or who do you think you are? Then you remember that one negative instead of all the positive. So I'm a recovering perfectionist. I don't know if you are because you seem so you're very light. You're like a light person, not heavy,
Ah,
very negative or hard. So because people talk about your soft spoken, I love when you get on stage, you're very you're so you're sweet. I wouldn't call myself sweet. You're sweet and gentle. So that doesn't mesh with this,
right,
which
right.
is why I'm asking, do you
Mm.
still sometimes feel like you're very hard on yourself?
I think I'm getting more and more easygoing person. I mean, I think I mean, my core character is very serious and trying to do my best, and I feel like I should become better. But at some point, I realized that, well, you need to love yourself, and you have everything in your, already you have everything, and unless you enjoy and you love, um, you cannot find anything else. Meaning you don't need anything else. And this happened for when I'm composing too. Like I'm searching and I should write better, blah blah blah. But at the end, like wow, I have infinite possibility, and just I need to go inside and inner self, and just I have to be myself. So it is connected to everything, like music and also the how to live too. So and especially because of COVID, I had almost like 2 years off. And then I'm so relaxed. And even I come back to US, but still I'm kind of a shogatsu, like New Year mode, because like China too, like we celebrate New Year very big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in US, the January 2nd is like normal day, but for Japanese, like January, for at least for first week is very special, like a holiday. And also February 3rd is Setsubun, which is like welcoming springtime. And until February 3rd, I feel like I'm still celebrating New Year.
Good.
So I'm still not working mode. So this is the first time like officially interview in English in this year.
Yay! I got her first. That's great.
Yeah.
So I love it when you speak Japanese.
Oh.
So I'm going to ask you to give a New Year's blessing to people who maybe are feeling still very sad because of all the loss from COVID and still feeling not good about the pandemic. So I didn't prepare you. I'm sorry. I should have asked you earlier, but you did it so great last time, and I didn't warn you last time.
Really?
So if you would just speak in Japanese, some words of encouragement and a Happy New Year wish.
Okay. Okay. この番組をご覧の皆様、明けましておめでとうございます。去年は、そしてその前も、大変な年でしたが、コロナの影響を受けられた皆様、お祈り申し上げます。そして、これから、どうぞ健康を維持されて、今年が良い年になりますようにお祈りしております。そして、私の音楽がお会いできることがあったら嬉しいです。どうぞ素敵な年にしてください。ありがとうございます。
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
That's all I know. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
谢谢. That is in Mandarin. Those of you who haven't heard that yet, that's thank you in Mandarin.
Right.
And I joke around with Keiko because we are close, but we're from two different cultures who were not close for a long time. And there's still some not closeness in, I know in China for sure, when people talk about Nanjing and the Japanese occupation, there's a lot of pain there. But I love that we are both on a mission to finish no conflict. We are the new Chinese-Japanese connection. China, Japan, we are connected here, and we invite all who are feeling still separate to join us. So on that note, have you experienced more prejudice or any prejudice or discrimination because of the way you look, because of your heritage? One, what was your reaction at the beginning of the pandemic when people were shunning anybody that looked Asian or Chinese, right? Because the former president was saying things like Kung flu or the Chinese flu. And so there was an anti-Asian sentiment. And then more recently, the Asian hate that is going on actively,
Mhm.
even as recently as the Olympian, the Suni Lee, right? She
Mhm.
got spit on and called names and told to go home
Mhm.
when she was with friends.
Mhm.
So, because you are an Asian sister, I
Mhm.
wanted to spend a little bit of time asking you what you felt about all of that.
Yeah. Um, eh, when I saw this activity, I became really sad because this is for everyone. This is very hardship, and because of this, we have the same problem. I mean, regardless which nationality and which ethnic background. So this is the time we have to put our mind together, not criticizing a political thing or those system and those things differences. So that's why it was really sad because I spent more than 30 years in US, and fortunately I was surrounded by good people, so I never felt like Asian hate or anything like that. But because of this these things happen, and in New York, Japanese pianist got um, yeah, abused, yeah, I mean hurted. So
Really?
yeah.
New York City, Tadataka Uno. Wow, he got attacked by a group of teens in a subway station.
Yeah, right.
That's so bad. He
And
had to go in the hospital.
so many people supported by donating for him to recover. So
That's so good.
yeah.
Well, that's the great part of tragedy.
Mm,
It is the silver lining, is it
mhm,
does bring out the worst and the best in people, but
right.
we focus on the best.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then I start to hearing like in nearby there is some store, Asian store, had some written things like "Go back to Asia" kind of thing, and then I felt like, wow, this is really getting risky. And I never felt like dangerous walking alone outside, but my friends told me that don't go out by yourself and don't go walk in the night.
Hmm.
So I start a little bit careful about that last 1 year or so because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you haven't personally gotten attacked.
No,
That's good.
fortunately.
You're
Yeah,
too nice.
great.
All right. And I can't believe, well, I can believe that we're almost out of time again. But the last question that I always ask my guests is, and you know this question because I've asked you three times before. See if
I
you
didn't
remember.
prepare anything.
You don't have to prepare. This one's easy.
Okay.
To who or what are you most grateful to or for? To who or what are you most grateful for? So when I ask you about gratitude, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Mm, to my fans,
Oh,
yes, because um, I had some difficult time in my life, but because of I came here, because my fans were already always there, and and uh, and wait for my new show or wait for my new album, and so I I didn't I didn't stop because of they were there.
mm,
So and because of my fans are there, so I could travel with my music. Of course, I'm grateful with my health too, but and I should thank my parents. But basically, because of music, I could come this far, and because of that was supported by my fans.
hmm. Yes, and you have lots of. I don't know one fan. I don't know one person who I've ever, sometimes you say someone's name, like an actor or a musician's name, and some people will go, oh yeah, I like them. Or some people will go, nah, not my cup of tea. I don't know one person that I've not said Keiko Matsui and their automatic reaction is, oh, I love her. I am so serious. I am so serious. You do have a very dedicated fan base, and I agree. And I'm one of them.
So
I wouldn't say I'm your biggest fan, because there's so many people out there that would say, no, I'm her biggest fan. But I'm so honored to have you, not just as a guest, a past guest, a multiple return guest, but our friendship. And I know that that difficult time that you're talking about is another thing that we had in common. We both had a relationship that wasn't what we had hoped it would be. And there was a lot of loss, and you can listen to.
But we are in new life, so.
And we're both in a new life. Yeah. One of the funny things that we didn't have time to talk about, and I think you're happy about that, but I was going to ask you how your love life was, because we do talk about that when we text every once in a while. Yeah, I know. I knew she wouldn't want to talk about it, but I had to raise it because I know inquiring minds want to know. But we're good. We're both very happy with ourselves, right? Our best date is ourselves.
Right. And last year I had a great time with my daughter because I had lots of time to stay home. So I watched many movies and I cooked a lot, eat a lot with my daughter. That was very valuable.
Beautiful. And it's that time. This is the end of the show. Sorry, but we have to go. But before I do, I have these tickets. This is February 25th. So if you would like a pair of tickets, I think I'll give, what's your favorite number?
7.
7. We'll give 7 pairs of tickets away today. So the first 7 people to go to drmarissa.life, and instead of putting Keiko Matsui, because you'll think that's what I'm going to say, I'm going to have you put Echo as the keyword. If you haven't gotten the album Echo, go get it. It hit #1 Billboard. How many weeks? Many weeks. It was many weeks. She's the most humble, decorated musician I know. She has no clue. She's been on Billboard so many times she doesn't know. But go get the album Echo. The first 7 people to go to drmarissa.life and put Echo in the subject line will get a free pair of tickets to the concert at Cerritos Performing Arts Center in Cerritos, California, February 25th. And if you don't win a pair, go to the concert anyways. All right?
Yay!
Yay! Keiko, you know my thing. You ready?
Right.
Peace in. Peace out. World peace.
World peace.
Through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting from my living room live during the pandemic with the fabulous Keiko Matsui here.
Thank you so much.
Reminding you to go forth and multiply the wonder that you are. Thank you so much, Keiko.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.